Hi, my name is Imogen Sutherland and welcome to my multimedia presentation on facial expressions and culture. In this chapter, we'll be looking specifically at the extent to which emotions are universally recognized from facial expressions. This chapter aims to be a self-help guide on this topic. In this chapter, we will cover facial expressions, movements of facial musculature, universal recognition of emotions, the categorization of emotions, fundamentality of emotions, emotions across culture, and various influential theories. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Well over 100 years ago, Charles Darwin first theorized on cross-cultural perspectives of emotions. Since that time, cross-cultural comparisons on emotions have been extensively researched. Emotions are a complex facet of our lives. They are multidimensional in that they exist as biological, subjective, purposive, and social phenomena. There are 6 emotions that have been deemed to be pan-culturally recognized, along with their associated facial expressions. These emotions are happiness, sadness, fear, surprise, anger, and disgust. To make these commonly used facial expressions, it takes 36 of the 80 muscles in your face. 8 of these 36 muscles are primarily used in 3 different parts of the face. That is, the upper, middle, and lower parts of the face. The upper half of the face, including the eyes and forehead, has 3 major muscles: the frontalis, the corrugator, and the orbicularis oculi. The middle section of the face uses 2 major muscles, the zygomaticus and the nasalis. The lower face uses 3 major muscles, the depressor and the orbicularis oris and the quadratus labii. This table shows which muscles are used to make different facial expressions. As earlier discussed, in terms of emotion being a social phenomena, we use facial, postural, and vocal signs to communicate the quality and intensity of the wide range of emotions we feel. Some researchers have found this large range of emotions can be categorized into families of fundamental emotions, these families being anger, fear, disgust, sadness, and enjoyment. An example of one of these families could be anger. Anger could house resentment, hostility, and envy. In saying this, researchers also found that emotions are categorized differently as per culture. Russell raises the question of whether emotions are categorized differently by different cultures and whether we may not know of certain emotions as they do not definitively exist in the English language. Wiesebecker counters this by stating that although there is no simple English equivalent, it is possible to explain in English what an emotion from other language is through decomposing the word. Wiesebecker uses the example of the Polish word tęsknota and breaks the ideas of the word down. We in English think of several words that could be used to translate tęsknota into English, such as homesick, miss, or nostalgia. But none of these words would apply if, for example, we were using the word tęsknota in a situation where a daughter was leaving her parents to study in a distant city. Her parents would be tęsknić, which is the verb, but this is not to say that her parents would be homesick for her, nor is it to say that they felt nostalgia for her. We could say they missed her, but this does not carry nearly as much weight as what the word tęsknota intends. To give an idea of how emotions are portrayed across cultures, I have conducted a cross-cultural examination on research on pride, guilt, and anger. Research shows Asian Americans, Japanese, and Indians in particular reported lower levels of pride in their daily lives than European Americans and Hispanics overall. Japanese and Asian Americans reported the most guilt over Hispanic and European Americans. It was found that Uktu Eskimos strongly disapproved expressions of anger, whilst Kaluli people from Papua New Guinea are encouraged to show their anger and is widely expected. Research shows that there are important cultural rules in play which affect how emotions are displayed and situations in which emotions are shown, which are all learnt from individual cultures. This means emotions differ in appropriateness per situation and desirability, depending on the culture, which in turn can affect how emotions are shown and perceived. The influential theories on this topic are facial action coding system, facial feedback hypothesis, and social identity theory. Unfortunately, there is not enough time to discuss those, although there is plenty more information on them in my book chapter. There is also a quiz to take if you'd like to partake in your own conclusion. Here are some parting words from Ekman. There is a distinctive pancultural sign for each emotion. If there is no distinctive universal facial expression associated with a given state, which functions as a signal, I propose that we not call that state an emotion. This is something to keep in mind next time you may find yourself in a situation where you can't quite say what you mean. It's not always words you need to express yourself. For references, please see link below.